Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're talking about bronzers. Over on Instagram, I asked you guys if you wanted to see my top 5 favorite bronzers or ranking all of them. I also asked you the same question on my community tab, and it was neck and neck, very close, but there was a slight leaning for my top 5 favorite bronzers on Instagram. So what I will do is today we will talk about my 5 favorite bronzers, and then we will do a ranking, a whole haul of all of my bronzers. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. As you know, I have my online beauty consulting service. This is where you get the chance to meet me one-on-one. It's a Zoom chat. So if ever you've purchased any makeup and you can't quite seem to make it work for you, you want like a fresh set of eyes, that is the perfect opportunity or the perfect reason to book a session. So go ahead and make an appointment today. Okay, so like I explained, the questionnaire was really tied neck and neck, really close. So I figured if it's this close in the votes, I may as well just do both, but I will start off with my top 5 favorites. And this is like top 5 current obsessions for these bronzers here. Like obviously my taste can change depending on the season, depending on the weather, but this is currently my top 5 favorite bronzers, and then I'll go ahead and do a ranking of all of them because I know some of you are like, please show me the whole collection. So that'll be out shortly. Double check that you are still subscribed to my channel because sometimes YouTube will unsubscribe you for no reason. Isn't that a joy? Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm counting. Yes, I have 5 of them. Let's go ahead and start off with a classic Chanel. Now, this is the new and improved Chanel Les Beiges Healthy Glow Cream Bronzer. This is the shade 390. This is supposed to be a universal bronzing cream, but we all know that's not quite the truth. We have to take that with a grain of salt here because universal for whom? So this is a cream texture. There was a cream bronzer from Chanel that existed before. It was discontinued and reformulated, and it was quite polemical when that happened. There were a lot of people who didn't like the new formulation, the new ingredient list, etc. I personally enjoy this cream product here. I'm just giving you guys a good swatch. As you can see, this is really a cream texture. Sometimes cream is more jelly or hard. This is a really soft cream, and I would say maybe compared to some of the other bronzers, it leans a little bit more cool. We will do some comparisons later, but this one here, just if I compare it to the other ones, it does lean slightly cooler than the other ones. The main polemical issue with the new cream bronzer here is that there is coconut oil or some sort of coconut oil derivative in this formula. Some people are prone to breakouts if that ingredient is in their skincare or makeup. I personally never experienced any breakouts, but for those people who do suffer from that, I can see why this was an issue. So it feels incredibly soft. Like it feels silky smooth. It glides so incredibly easily. They recommend applying this one with the Chanel Kabuki brush. So this is, has the Chanel logo. You can use this for a powder bronzer or a cream bronzer. I've used it for both. I've used it for Chanel cream bronzers and powders. It's nice. It's not too big. They have a new oversized jumbo one, which I don't understand why they would sell that for bronzer, because typically bronzer, you want it to be in a more concentrated area. You don't want to have bronzer like everywhere. So this one here, the Kabuki, I would recommend it, especially I think I purchased this at the same time, like 2 in 1. So I would recommend getting the Chanel Kabuki brush with the cream bronzer. I think you will enjoy the application. It's not actually as wide as you think. Like you will be able to just like get into the contours here. Like it's a good shape. And so it's also really large. So it's really good at diffusing. If you're worried that you go a little bit too heavy-handed maybe, this is actually quite good because the bristles, you can see it's quite large. It's just going to sweep everything across and blend really easily. So it's just going to look very, very natural. Here we have my hands side by side, bronzed and not bronzed, just to show you the difference and how it's going to look on you. So that is number one. There's not like a particular order to this. These are just like my favorite 5 bronzers. And I wasn't always like a bronzer girl. I feel like this year, something about it, I'm just like, I just want to look more bronzed than I actually am. I want to look more tanned and just like kissed by the sun. So I'm just like leaning into bronzers even more. Sorry, my chair is squeaky, but I'm just leaning into bronzers even more. So that's why this video is here. All right, let's go into another classic icon in the bronzer world, Guerlain. Now this is the Terracotta Light. This is number 3, medium warm, the sun-kissed healthy glow powder with 96% naturally derived ingredients. Now I will go ahead and include a photo of what this looks like originally, because this is a blend of bronzer with like blush and highlighter, so you can do like a perfect cheek with it. This is like a one and done in a way. Like if you want to add blush, you can, but there's enough variants in here that you could just sweep it on your cheeks, on the temples, and just like hit the right spots where you're going to tan and look great. Like you don't have to add extra. It's a really great multi-purpose, multi-use product. And as you can see, I enjoy it. I use it a lot. So it no longer looks like a pristine tortoise shell item. It looks used and abused, but this is exactly how I want my makeup products to look. I don't really understand the point of buying makeup to not use it. It's like buying food and not eating it. Like, what's the point of that? Let's go ahead and do a little swatch here. I have my mirror on the side. Okay, so as you can see, this one, it has, so this blush, this bronzer in particular, has like a peachy hue to it. There are ones that have more pink, but more cool tone, and there's like lighter, medium, dark, etc. You know, like the whole gamut. So this one, as you can tell, does look a bit more orange in a way, but it's because of the blush. It doesn't actually look orange on the skin. It just is that blush factor that kind of gives it a bit more warmth. So I'm just gonna go ahead and spread it around, and then, is that enough? Yeah, okay. This is both hands here. So clearly there's a difference in the warmth here. You definitely get more of that peachy coral, but I am a peachy coral type of girl. I love that type of blush for summer. So this to me, like Guerlain is iconic in the blush game. This is what they're known for. They're known for many things, but like the Terracotta line, I'm sure many of you watching have been collecting and enjoying makeup for a long time, so you can attest to Terracotta being around for a long time. It's just like a staple, a classic of the brand. And I like the little blush highlighter mixed in because it really is an item if you're traveling, if you're on the go, if you want to pack a really light makeup bag, you can go ahead and pack one of these in there, and you can just do a full cheek. You don't need to pack a blush or a highlighter. It's really just going to be mixed in. And speaking of highlighter, like there's no like chunky glitter, there's no big sparkle particles. It's really subtle and beautiful. So it's just like luminous and beautiful. It's not going to settle into fine lines and crow's feet, things like that. So it's just like a great multi-purpose product, and it's just a great bronzer, but it just adds so much more. I would love for Guerlain to also do like a terracotta meteorite pearls. Like, have they ever done that? Have they ever done the meteorite pearls but with bronzer instead of highlighter? That would be amazing. Okay, next up is a new item. This I got not that long ago, this summer, but it's really just like snuck in there and stayed in place. I can always tell when I really, really love a product when I test out something new, and I always reach for it. Like, it's always what I reach for, even though I have other products. It doesn't matter. Like, I want to go back to this one over and over again. So this is from Nars, and this is their Laguna 2 Cream Bronzer. Again, Nars is known for their bronzers. Laguna specifically, like it's one of those brands that had cult status before YouTube became a thing, before beauty blogging became a thing. It was just like a brand that was known for their products, and this is a new cream bronzer, and I love it. This is the bronzing cream here, Again, it's very soft and creamy. It reminds me of the Chanel one. It's very easy to apply, so I'm going to go ahead and do a gorgeous swatch for you here. It applies so creamy, so smooth, very buttery. So when you're going to apply this on the skin, think of how it's going to glide. Like, it's not going to leave streaks. It's not going to be difficult to spread out. It's just so creamy, so buttery. The one thing I would say is that this bronzer is very pigmented. It's very opaque, very intense. So when you apply, always go in with a light hand because it's much easier to apply bronzer than it is to remove. That's one thing you have to keep in mind. With this one in particular, it's just really opaque. Like, there's just so much color payoff. So as you're applying, go in lighter. Now here's a comparison of my hand with and without the bronzer. So you can see I basically applied the same pressure when I was getting the product out of the pot here, but you just get way more product, and the product itself is more opaque and intensely pigmented. So you can see the difference between this one and the Chanel one, where let's just do like a comparison side by side to these two. Like, obviously the Laguna 2 is darker, so it does make sense that it would show up as darker on the skin. So just keep that in mind. And I think I'll go ahead and do swatch comparisons of each one at the end of the video. So timestamps will be involved. Now this one here does have a scent. It reminds me of the Nars Manoi body oil. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but it smells like vanilla, Manoi. It's gorgeous. It's like a shimmering body lotion. It smells fantastic, but it has a little bit of that scent. So just be mindful of that. And I'm thinking of the Guerlain one also has a little bit of scent, but it's more like a cosmetic fragrance. I wouldn't say it smells like the meteorite pearls, not at all. That's like a very potent smell. This just smells like a cosmetic product. And then Chanel, no, it smells like a cosmetic product. With all the coconut fuss, I thought this would smell like a pina colada, but no, it just smells like a clean cosmetic product. Okay, so the last two here, I really think are very underrated products. Like, the brands themselves are very popular, but these two products here, I just think deserve more light, more spotlight, because they're just so good. The first one here is from Givenchy, and this is the Healthy Glow powder slash bronzer number 3, Amber Season. As you can tell, this has been well loved. This had a beautiful quilted logo many moons ago. I think it had like the classic Givenchy pattern. Now it looks like this. So it's been well loved. It's funny how these all have long-winded names like Healthy Glow, Illuminating. It's a bronzer, but it's supposed to give you like that healthy glow, like you just came back from the beach. So I get it. So let me just go ahead and build up a swatch here. This one feels like a very classic powder bronzer. If you are not really interested in cream bronzers, if you prefer a powder, this one here is gorgeous. This one has 0 scent whatsoever. I smell absolutely nothing. And what's amazing is that it's a classic powder, but it looks so luminous. Like it's not highlighter. It's just like, if you think of a matte highlighter in a way, it gives you brightness and light, but without a chunky glitter, without glitter particles. This is what I think of, this one here. It really, really, truly lives up to its name of this healthy glow powder, because it looks so healthy. Like, you know, that little glow you get from being out in the sun. It's truly that. Like, it's so healthy. It's so natural. It's so light. It's so fresh. It is magnificent. And it's one of those items that Givenchy isn't really known for, but I would say that this is comparable to the Chanel Les Beiges, to like the Guerlain Terracotta. As far as like iconic bronzer status goes, I think that this should be top tier, because it's so gorgeous. It's so subtle. and it really truly gives you that natural glow, that beautiful bronzed glow from within. I cannot speak highly enough of this one. Now, last but not least, is another product. The brand itself, not underrated, but this product here, I'm just surprised more people don't talk about this. Tom Ford. This is the Glow Bronzer in number 2, Terra. First of all, the packaging, white and gold, so fresh, so summer. Like he knows what he's doing. This is beach, resort, Mediterranean vibe, white and gold. I think always looks so fresh and clean, like gorgeous. The bronzer itself, wow, it's so gorgeous. This is a classic powder, but it's similar to Givenchy in the very subtle, soft, glowy, natural bronzed goddess glow. It's just phenomenal. So here is Terra 2 from Tom Ford on the back of my hand. It gives that same subtle glow. Again, not a chunk of glitter, no sparkle particles. It's just that beautiful, luminous, healthy looking skin. Like you sleep well, you get your veggies in every day, you exercise. It looks so healthy and so glowy. I hope the back of my hand does it justice here. And I think this one here, it's what I'm wearing today. This is the bronzer that I'm wearing today. It has a hint more coolness than warmth. So it's not going to hit any sort of orange. It definitely has more of a cool vibe to it. And this is the bronzer that I'm wearing today. I just think I love these powder bronzers when they give you that healthy, luminous glow, no highlighting, chunky glitter, just like beautiful lit from within. It's almost like it gives you that beautiful youthfulness of a cream product, but in a powder. That's what it really gives. And I love it. I love the whole vibe, the whole package. And I also love how small it is. Like the package itself is really tiny, so it's great for travel. You can put this in your purse, you can put this in your travel bag. It's just like very compact, so it's wonderful. Now I'm going to mention two more brushes. So like I said, if you want to try the Chanel Kabuki brush, I think it's great. Like it will not steer you wrong. I think this is a great product, especially for cream products. I think it's really good. Another brush for cream products would be the Nars Cream Bronzing Brush. However, for some reason, this is limited edition, which I think is ridiculous. Nars, if you're paying attention, bring this back full time. What I love is that this is cut on a bias. It's at an angle. So it just fits perfectly in here. You know, you can just like go ahead and like swoop here, swoop. That's the official terminology. Just swoop, swoop. So easy to use, and it's really great for a cream product. If you're worried that this is too big, if you think it's going to spread it out too wide, I would recommend this one here, especially for a cream bronzer. But the overall MVP for bronzer application, in my opinion, is the Rephr number 4 brush. Again, this is cut at an angle here, so you're gonna get that perfect swoop in your cheekbone. It's just gonna go ahead and carve very easily. And the bristles are nice and fluffy, so you're not going to pick up too much product at once. It's also small, like it's not too wide, so you're not going to make yourself look like an Oompa Loompa. You're not going to bring too much bronzer in. You're really just going to be able to control how much you apply. And I just love this shape. I think it's perfect for swooping. There we go. Now let's go ahead and do some swipes and stripes of these all side by side. Let's start from the top, the Chanel Cream Bronzer here. All right, so from the top we have Chanel, then we have Guerlain, then we have Nars, then we have Givenchy, and Tom Ford. So previously, if you didn't quite understand what I meant when I would say this one is more orange, this one is more cool toned, hopefully this can help you get some perspective on what I meant. You can definitely see that some of these are darker. I think the Nars one looks like it's the darkest and also the coolest. Like it doesn't look as warm or as orange in comparison to the Guerlain one. So here are all of these swatched side by side. I really hope that this helped you out. I hope that this gives you perspective, and just seeing these all swatched side by side on someone like my skin tone, I hope it helps you out. I wear like a Chanel B40. I am a little bit tanned at the moment, so that's my shade range. So yeah, these are my top 5 current favorite bronzers. Let me know in the comments. I want to know, which texture do you prefer? Do you prefer a cream bronzer, a powder bronzer, or some sort of like hybrid baked gelée formula? Let me know also if you're excited to see my entire bronzer collection. Feel free to leave a little emoji like the brown heart. That seems like fitting for bronzer, a brown heart. Go ahead and leave that in the comments below. So I think that is it for today. That is all I have. I am all swatched out. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.